Apple has live event, and it always happens around this time of the year. We did it last year. We're going to be doing it again this year. And I haven't okayed this with you, but it's on Tuesday. We might end up just going live when the Apple Live event takes place. We'll, of course, let you guys know. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell just to get notified when we do go live, if we do go live a little bit earlier than normal. But 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time is when they will be hosting the special streaming event for Apple. Well, I'm sure they'll be talking about the iPhone 13. There's rumors of the Apple Watch Series 7 that could be
Release.
Sorry. Thank you. And then there's also the AirPods as well. So there's a lot of good things that could be coming out of this. We've seen some positive reactions out of Apple after these types of events. I'm not expecting anything crazy, but given the way that this is kind of corrected, and it had a wild day on Friday, most of the FANG stocks actually pulled back pretty significantly. I think this is a good opportunity to maybe look at Apple, especially leading into the event, if it holds above the 50-day moving average.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine the next 2 days it runs into the event. Man, it'll be interesting. So the one thing to keep in mind is it just the phone? There might be a second event, because if you remember last year, they actually announced the iPhone a month later than the wearables. So if they announce it all, that'd be great. All in all, Apple has these little moves, and get in whenever you want to get into it. The reality is it's just going to keep going up, and it's still fundamentally undervalued, which is crazy, even if it was at its 52-week highs. And before you get into the next one, Brad, just want to invite people to the daily watch list. So at Own the Chaos, we send out 5 stocks every morning before the market opens that we have our eye on. So if you guys are interested, get the free daily watch list. Click the link in the description. That'll send you to onlychaos.com, where you can get the watch list.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to address this real quick. Mad Dix mentioned, isn't this a sell the news event? If that's the case, it will tank the entire market. I don't think so. I understand why you would think that, maybe because of Apple so heavily weighted in the S&P 500. But that being said, Apple's been underperforming the S&P all year. So, yes, maybe it could be influenced a little bit by that, but on a broader scale, there's so many other stocks, especially the reopening plays as of late, that have been carrying the S&P 500 up, and actually hasn't been some of the big tech stocks. So that's why I actually remain bullish on the market overall, because I think that the big tech FANG stocks will potentially catch up to the rest of the market and actually move this higher. So it could be, we could see some turbulence this week just because of all that. And then obviously we didn't even really touch on the Epic, lawsuit that took place, which prompted some of the selling of Apple on a Friday and late last week. But we could see some movement, but I don't think it influences the entire market because of some of the economic data that we're seeing come through.
Well, Matt Dix, I'm glad, keep that comment up.
Okay.
I'm glad you said something, because I wanted to point out your comment earlier, and I'm only saying this because you're Chaos Crew and you have thick skin, but I think a lot of people speak this way. It will take, can you keep that comment up? It will take the entire market down. That's a very strong statement. Not saying I disagree with you or not, but like, sell the news because of releasing the phone. It just sounds a little bit overdone. And it kind of goes back to your first comment earlier when we went live. I don't want to buy anything. All indications show for a 5 to 10% correction. I think it's time we get a pullback. No brainer. It's very healthy. Pullback is healthy for sure. I agree with that part of it. And I'm not disagreeing about a 5 or 10% correction. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I don't try to guess when there's a 5 or 10% correction.
Yeah.
If I was trying to guess there's a 5 or 10% correction, I probably would have been doing it for the past 6 months. Every week we get somebody different who's like, we're ready for a 5 and 10% correction. Somebody will be right, but still it hasn't happened. So to try to play for a 5 or 10% correction, you don't want to buy anything. Do whatever you want to do, but like, I try not to get caught up in things. I hope I have a well-balanced portfolio and that I have some cash on hand. So if there's a correction, I can leverage it. Trying to guess when the market will go down, especially a crash. Historically, people are horrific at predicting crashes. So I just wanted to point that out, not trying to come down on you, Mad Dicks, but that's very common. We get that comment all the time. Correction, here it comes.
You could also make the argument, though, that the market has corrected over the summertime. I mean, we saw certain sectors that corrected, and then there was this rotation that really kind of carried some the markets higher. So it gave that perception that there was no actual correction, but there was several. I wanted to say a large percentage of stocks, and I don't know the exact number. But there was a large percentage of stocks that fell below their 50-day moving averages and then started to move back up. So you can make the argument that there was a correction. It just wasn't reflected in the overall indexes. And I think that that's where a lot of people maybe where some of the confusion may be at, that just because they're looking at the indexes themselves, they automatically think that the whole index has to come down, and that may not be the case.